This is the Aputure C120D, and I know some of you guys are like, another light review? So if you guys don't like tech reviews, come back to the next video for some motorcycle stuff, or maybe you could stay for a little bit of Ride with Rahul behind the scene of the Ducati Scrambler shoot. And now let's get started with the review. In this review, compared with the newest light, the Aputure C120D Mark II, which is a little brighter and has some extra features which I will talk about in the later video, so hold that thought. I'll also talk about my experience of using this light and compare it with the LS1 Lightstorm, which is the other Lightstorm and not so popular, but I'll show you some advantages of using the Lightstorm over this one. Maybe you need a smaller light, so a 672C or even the Pocket M9 could make sense for you. But anyways, let's just get started. So this light can be powered by both a power cord or a V-mount battery. Unfortunately, the V-mount battery is not included in the box, but you can buy one separately or just use the wall plug. It comes with a padded carrying case and one of the best cases, so they really want you to take this light to your sets and use it outdoors, including a nice remote control which can control most other Aputure lights, and they can be controlled in 3 groups, so you can just put them in separate groups and have separate brightnesses into them. And the light uses a Bowens mount, which is a very common mount, so you can use any Bowens mount softbox, including the Aputure's own space light, the Light Dome and the Light Dome Mini, which I have here. This is considered a single light source LED light. Even when it's close up to the model, the shadows are somewhat like traditional light and not from a multi-point LED light like the LS1S Lightstorm. But anyways, when I've used the LS1S Lightstorm, I used a diffusion paper in front of it, a simple tracing paper, and that takes care of the multi-shadow problem. It's not a big deal. I am fortunate enough to own both of the Lightstorm, and thanks for Aputure Tech for sending me both of these lights, which I absolutely love and use in all of my studio shoots and some of my outdoor shoots as well. Shot both photos and videos with both of these lights. The LS1 comes in spotlight and color adjustable versions, and the C120D comes in daylight balanced D version and also the classic tungsten or the T version. The LS1 LED light panel takes far less space in the studio, since the C120D needs a huge diffuser like the Light Dome or a Light Dome Mini. It may be a small light, but when you use it with the diffuser, practically it takes up way more space. The LS1 didn't come with a carrying case, but if you buy a carrying case, it is easier to carry, and like I said, it's easier to set up as well, and it diffuses with simple tracing paper, and the effect is really nice. And the differences are in quality and even in the spread of light. I have a feeling that portrait photographers and filmmakers are going to like the C120D more because it allows them to have that really soft, large source of light, whereas the even video shooters will like the even spread and bright light from the LS1's compact form factor. Though I would say with colored gels, it's way easier to use the LS1 Lightstorm. And the new Light Dome version 2 will have a provision for adding color gels easily, so I look forward to testing the new Light Dome. And I've left links to all of the things that I've mentioned in the video description, and if you do use those links to buy, it does really help our channel, so don't forget to check out those links. As I was saying before, Aputure came with the version 2 of this light, which can be dimmed down to 1%, whereas the C120D Mark I can only be dimmed down to 10%. So if you always thought that 10% was even too bright, you can now dim it down to 1%. Also, the 120D Mark II has 18,000 lux at half a meters away, whereas this one has 14,000 lux. Aputure is claiming about a 25% brightness increase, and instead of one controller and one power brick like both the LS1 Lightstorm and the C120D, the new one has a unified controller and battery pack combined, so that's gonna clean up the space. It's going to be easier to manage, but it's not a big upgrade. So you might be thinking, is the 120D Mark II worth the extra $100? Well, if you don't require the extra brightness, or if you don't require the dimming to 1% feature, you can still buy the Mark I because it's the same color balance and you're going to get the same quality of light. So Even today the Mark 1 is a great deal, but yeah, if you want a cleaner look and if you want that extra brightness, the C120D Mark 2, go for it just for $100 extra. For my personal use, I don't think it will make much of a difference. I was shooting a small documentary type video on the Ducati Scrambler at the local dealership of Ducati, and the lights and the dealership were very good for photos, but in video they kept flickering, so we just turned everything off and used the single C120D with the light dome mini to light the entire setup. Now I must say that we were using a GoPro Hero 6 with a gimbal, and GoPros have terrible high ISO performance. Even at 400 ISO some noise starts creeping in, but even with that camera we got much better results. And when we used a 1-inch sensor Panasonic Lumix FZ1000, you can see how drastically better the images look and the videos look, and that's all being lit by a single C120D. In another different shoot, I was doing some chromatic portraits using the 672C as the key light with some colored gels, but because of those colored gels the brightness of the 672C got really affected, and while shooting, instead of ramping up the ISO and producing a noisier picture, we just used the C120D at 10% to create a sort of a fill light, and we finally got some great results in that portrait shoot. Let's quickly walk you through the shots. The C120D is coming in from the model's right with the light dome mini, and the LS1 Lightstorm is coming in from the model's left, as you can see in the video, and it has a yellow colored gel which is giving the golden glow, and we got two different shots all from the same lighting setup. Pretty simple, but I love the results. Second one is even more simple. I've drawn a diagram since we didn't have a b-roll. Diffuse light coming in from the model's back curtained window. She's sitting in a corner. We're using a 28mm wide lens at f2.8, and that's what gives this distorted look. The LS1 Lightstorm is coming in from the camera right, and it's casting that shadow onto the wall, as you can see, and that is the key light in this shot. Let's move into the next shot where we went really creative with some colored gels. LS1 Lightstorm is coming in from her back at a higher angle, 45-degree angle, and that's creating pink colored highlights on her shoulder and on her right side of her face because we're using a pink colored gel over there. We're using the 672C with a golden colored gel from the bottom of the frame, and all the glossiness on her skin is baby oil. It's not done in post. We created that in camera, and the C120D is coming in from the right, a little bit top angle, and that's creating that teal colored glow on the white wall and also creating that beautiful bluish highlight on her left leg. Let me move you to the next photo where you can actually see the C120D with the mini light dome and the blue gel that's casting in on her left side, a bluish nice light. From the photo's left side, the LS1 is coming in with pink gel again, and from the bottom we're using again the 672C with the golden colored gel to add a little bit of fill to her legs. So this type of a lighting setup has given us the final image, which was absolutely stunning and one of my most favorite shots from this shoot. Do comment below if you like these images or if you have some better suggestions, and I'd love to hear from you. I must also add this light is completely flicker free, so even if you're doing a lot of 120 FPS, which a lot of new cameras can do, my GoPro can do, my Sony a7 III can do that, and if you're using this light you can get absolutely flicker free slow-mo results. And when you compare it with the traditional LED light or a tube light, you can see how flickering the video looks. So that's a great thing for using Aputure's LED lights. Also, if you're using it for photography, you can see these shadow angles and you can easily understand what your exposure will be if you're using a mirrorless camera and LED lights. So I just love shooting continuous light. Going forward, I would want this light to be lighter and maybe include a strobe mode for it to be used like conventional flash as well. I see that Rotolight, which is way more expensive, but they do have this mode, and I would like Aputure to come up with some sort of a light that has a strobe function, because some photographers do prefer it, and then it would be perfect for a photo and video combo light. Apart from that, the C120D meets and exceeds all of my expectations. I'm not even looking for getting a C120D Mark II because this light is going to be more than enough for all of my short filmmaking needs and my studio tech video shoots and even some dramatically good photo shoots. I love the new C120D, and obviously the Mark II is gonna be better. And if you're an event shooter, if you just want a compact LED panel which can floodlight the entire area, you might want to take a look at the LS1 Lightstorm as well. Thanks for watching. I hope this review was enjoyable enough for you guys. I put a lot of effort into it. I've been shooting using these lights for the last 2 months, so thanks to Aputure Tech for being so patient, for letting me test this light out for so long that finally I could come up with this review. And thanks for watching. I hope to see you guys on my next video. Hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to hit the bell button. Share it if you like it. Goodbye.